A Chicago cop who fatally shot a mentally ill teen back in December is now suing the dead teen's family for $10 million, claiming extreme emotional trauma. Now you're seeing here a picture of Officer Robert Rialmo, who was involved in the shooting, and he killed a 19-year-old Quintonio LeGrier, as well as 55-year-old Bettie Jones. Now, Rialmo shot LeGrier 6 times on December 26 after the teen made 3 calls to 911. Now, just for clarification here, there were 4 calls made that night. 3 from Quintonio and 1 from his father, saying that his son was having an episode. Now, the son called, making vague but distressed remarks about an emergency he said needed a police response. Now, the gunfight erupted after LeGrier rushed at the officer while swinging a baseball bat, according to police, with 1 shot passing through the teen and striking the neighbor, who was called upon by Quintonio's father to let the cops in the door to help with this situation. Now, Rialmo's suit contradicts the story given by LeGrier's family in their wrongful death suit, which said the teen was inside the building and shot by the cop from the outside. The family suit also said LeGrier did nothing to threaten Rialmo or anything else on the scene and was not involved in any illegal activity at the time. So you guys probably remember this case. The teen was with the baseball bat. He had some emotional problems, and I think the family has issues with him being called mentally ill now after the fact. But he had some emotional issues where he was taking a baseball bat against his door in his room, and he knew something was wrong. That's why he called 911, and then the father called the police to come help, and that's when all of this transpired.
Okay, so you must be wondering, like, wait, this story, we must have misstated something. This can't be what's real.
I wish we did.
Right. So let's review the facts really clearly, and there's no question that this is the case. So the kid calls the cops 3 times and says, "Come help me." Mm-hmm. The cop comes and shoots him dead. Okay? So now there's a disagreement between the cop and the family as to how far the kid was away. The cop says, "Oh, he swung the bat inches from my head, and then I backed up, and I thought he was going to kill me, so I shot him." Right? Witnesses on the scene, now, mind you, it's family and friends who are there,
right, say,
no, the cop was 20 to 30 feet away from the kid. The kid never swung. And that they were not outside, the kid had not chased them outside, that he shot him inside the house. Now, when you go to court, those, I imagine, at least where he was shot, is going to be fairly easily provable. Now, the cop, in a panic, shot the whole place up and killed the neighbor as well, who had answered the door for the police. So, again, the family calls in, the cop shoots him. Okay, that story is wildly outrageous to begin with, and I was so mad about it at the time. Now the cop says to those family members, and the dad had also called it in and said, "Hey, listen, come help us. I have a kid that needs help." Suing that dad and the rest of the family for $10 million because he shot and killed their son. And killing their son caused him a little bit of emotional trauma. And he's like, "Well, you know, I didn't love killing your son. It bothered me a little bit. So why don't you give me $10 million for killing your son?" We're not making that up. That's the most unbelievable thing I've ever heard. I had to check 3 different news sources to make sure it was real. Like, this can't be true, but it is true. And the family's lawyers make a very good point. He's like, they're basically trying to intimidate us, saying, no, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to take everything you own. You already took my son. If I'm that dad. And the kid was going to school. That's why the mom's so upset when people call him, mentally ill, because he was actually in college and he was doing fairly well. Yes, he had these emotional issues. That's why everybody, including the kid, called the cops saying, "Help me," right? So after you took my son away from me, and the dad had a teary interview on TV saying, "He's the only thing I had. You took everything I had." And the cop says, "No, I didn't. I'd also like to take all your money after I shot your son dead." There are no bounds of decency left anymore. The cops are so above the law and feel so empowered that they feel like, no, I get to kill your son and then demand money of you. I mean, it's not just this case. It's symbolic of how we have empowered cops to be above the law. That they feel that they live in a society where he thinks he might win. He thinks, I'm a cop, I can do whatever I want, I can murder your kids and then have you pay me for it. And then his attorney says, some of these victims feel like that getting shot by a cop is like winning the lottery. Quintonio LeGrier is dead. How did he win the lottery? I mean, don't you think at some point that there's just a small piece of humanity in someone that would stop him from saying something so outrageous, from filing a lawsuit like this that is so below any boundaries of decency that anybody can imagine? But apparently not. So Robert Rialmo thinks, I own the world. I can kill your kids and then have you pay me for it. And he finds that perfectly normal.
No.
What's wrong with our society that we've created a situation where anyone would find that normal?
No, I think you make a great point, and he is still a working cop. He just has desk duty now, and so even there, even within the system, he's not being punished. And then the fact that he would even think to make that claim is horrendous. And the family's wrongful death suit, we don't actually know how much they're trying to claim from that, but it's around the $50,000 range. And then he's going to jump to $10 million. And so I kind of have like a not nearly as egregious as this, but sort of a personal story with this. I had a friend in high school who was killed in a car crash, and it was with another car. And he passed away. And then the family who was involved in the crash, who walked away fine from the incident, sued his family, or attempted to sue his family for emotional distress or something. Somebody is dead. Like, I don't understand. Like, you have to be such a sociopath to then, come away having been in a situation. Look, maybe he does have emotional distress. Killing somebody, I think, unless you are like a total psychopath, like no emotions or whatever, killing somebody would, I think, cause you a lot of emotional distress. I hope it would cause you emotional distress. But then to sue the family who lost the son, I mean, that's absurd. And it's disgusting is what it is. It's completely disgusting.
Well, ironically, I now don't believe he even suffered any emotional trauma from it. Because if you were bothered that you took another person's life, you wouldn't sue their family members.
Right, you'd have some remorse.
No, I believe that there is a good chance this guy's a monster. He's a sociopath. He shot and killed a neighbor, too.
Right.
Okay, she didn't do anything. It's not even alleged that she did anything. And this monster still has a gun and a badge. And going around trying to hurt the family members of that kid even more. I remember when we first did the story and the family sued for $50,000, trying to get rich off of it. Are you sick? They just said, hey, listen, I just want the courts to acknowledge that something wrong happened here. If you took somebody I cared about that was a family member of mine, I wouldn't sue for $50,000. I'd sue for $1 billion until I shut that department down, reformed it, and built it back up so it actually serves the citizens rather than murdering the citizens. And then this guy has the nerve to go in, this sociopath, and sue the family of the kid that he killed. He's walking around today with a gun and a badge. God damn it, man. Okay, no, look away. There's no problem here, right? That's what I'm told on Fox News every day. There's no problem. The cops are wonderful. In fact, Giuliani said it today on Fox News, that the black community would be better off if they were more respectful of the police. Well, they were respectful enough to call for your help, and then you came and murdered them. Am I supposed to be respectful after you murder my son and you sue me for $10 million? Am I still supposed to be respectful of you? I said it at the time with that father. I'll say it again now. Black people in this country have been far too respectful of these guys in authority. No. There should be wide-scale protests, nonstop, endless protests. Now, we're not animals like these guys, so we don't go the route of violence. That's what they do, state violence, right? No, but there should be unbelievable, record-shattering protests against these guys. How is this not the last straw? How is this not the last straw? And then to say, no, if you just bowed your head a little bit more as we kept killing your kids, things would be better. Hell no. And then on top of that, they'll turn around and say, oh, you know what the real problem is? The black community. No, there's a community that has a problem, but it ain't the black community. It's the cops that are killing these innocent people.